What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my channel, Rob Gets Real. I'm Rob, and today I'll be discussing the TV series Peacemaker. Peacemaker. Peacemaker is the first DCEU TV show expanding on the James Gunn 2021 film, The Suicide Squad. The show focuses on the Suicide Squad member, Peacemaker, who's played by John Cena. Peacemaker is a wildly patriotic mercenary turned superhero who is quoted saying that he cherishes peace with all his heart and doesn't care how many men, women, and children he needs to kill to get it. Man, the irony in that. Oh yeah, and he has a loyal pet bald eagle named Eagly. Trust me, this is just the beginning. The funny thing is, even though the Peacemaker is the protagonist and considered a superhero, his personality is nothing like the traditional superheroes we are used to. He's extremely egotistic and ready to dish out insulting comments to those around him any chance he gets, and he's actually pretty good at it. If you aren't familiar with who or what the Peacemaker is, don't fret, as he isn't DC's flagship superhero like Superman or Batman. James Gunn, the director, has become known for pulling obscure characters from comics and reviving them in the public's consciousness. For example, look at what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy. Barely anybody knew outside of the comic book world who these characters were, but now with their popularity, they're getting their third film. So, Warner Brothers saw the success James Gunn was having with Marvel, so they asked him, hey, come over to the DC side. And what does James Gunn do? He does it again. He takes a not so well-known character and then he tells a compelling story about him. It seems that he had a plan with the character of Peacemaker during the filming of the Suicide Squad, and Warner Brothers supported it. I'm glad they did because he executed it quite brilliantly. The show takes place after the events of the 2021 film, and the series follows Peacemaker as he is recruited into a black ops squad that targets alien species who are trying to take over the world. Crazy, right? The show caught me off guard by how raw and vulgar it is. Initially, I was expecting this show to be like the other CWDC shows with some light humor and kid-friendly action. But after seeing just the first episode, I realized that the show is nothing like the other DC shows out there. I was surprised yet impressed with the violence this show was willing to display. The show catches you right from the opening credits, so let me talk about that for a second. The tone is so different from any other superhero opening that it's sort of mesmerizing. Part of my brain wanted to skip it, but part of it was like, this is so weird yet entertaining. I must keep watching. The characters work for me in this series as they're dysfunctional from one another, but that's what makes them work so well. One of the standouts to me was actually John Cena. He is yet to prove to me that he can carry a film as the lead. However, comparing his previous acting roles to this one, he's definitely improving. And I have a feeling we'll be seeing a lot more of Cena in the future. Get it? Because we normally can't see John Cena, the memes. Alright, forget it. James Gunn utilized and showcased Cena's strengths well in this show. He gave Cena enough exposure while surrounding him with a talented cast. As strange as they all are, Gunn found a way to make each character relatable with the audience. Now, I could be nitpicking, but I found the back and forth dialogues between the characters to be distracting rather than funny. I felt that there were too many of these, and most of the time, they weren't funny enough to justify derailing from the story. Another character who grew on me as the series progressed was Vigilante. He's probably the dumbest and most naive character on the show, but make no mistake, when he wants to be, he's the most lethal killer out there. So, let's get real. The show has its own unique style and is definitely not for everyone. The show is charismatic and the cast is surprisingly entertaining. If you're not into intense violence, sci-fi stories, and hearing profanity every few sentences, you can skip this show. However, if you're interested in the DCEU world building and seeing John Cena kick some ass, I recommend watching this series. Well, those are my thoughts on the show Peacemaker. If you liked it, hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. See you next time on Rob Gets Real. Peace. Maker.